boys. Are you ready? We are Caustic Echoes. This is Among the Sheep. Among the sheep, loyal, what's on the face, dissension, rotting the core of the bones, the lowest, low peoples inside the home, fulfillment of self-made prophecy. Fire! Stifle! Red aspirine! Black sand! Falling like the grains of time to quench the truth from the light. The embers risking remorse as the plan runs its course. The self-made prophecy comes to pain. Nobody has to die. Put the guns down, then sit quiet like now. The glue up in action says, ooh, watch with your eyes taped open. Then sit in the corner with your new friend. And I love, I still live to shake you. I love the fear to wake you from the day gone wrong. Nobody has to die. Put the guns down and sit quiet like, oh now. The glue up in action says, ooh, watch with your eyes taped open. And in your corner with your new friend. Have a seat. Just have a seat. What a day! God! Every moment! The past as an illusionist brought to the fold, and this life is better without the pain, the pain. Every moment that passes, an illusion is brought to the fold. This life is better without the pain. The pain can we allow it over and over and over again? The earth is our home that we set free. Can we allow it over and over and over again? Safe in our home that we set free. This next song is ambivalent. Covered in mud and the muck, betray the blossoms and petals, perfection. Lost in the light of the swamp. Love, control, color, is imperfect. You are from my home. A piece of my heart is your heart, and I grew to hold it. Let love go stand fast, stomping dim. Another way to get out of this. Alive, maybe someday we will find the truth buried in let's go. I've come to watch for nothing. They come as a sweet blessing, but still I feel this dragon in front of me, breaking all the views of insanity inside of me, breathe inside of me, project on the outside. There is this suffering left by flames of my darkest memory. Wishing release from this perpetuity. Maybe we belong in maybe someday. I thank you. We're gonna play a special little ditty, a cover, a fancy cover, while they do their thing. I never really listened to this guy growing up, not you.
Who, me? I didn't know you, bro.
So this is very new to me, this fancy, old school, whatever the hell we're about to do. But I love you all. Thank you for being here.
Let's do the do, motherfuckers. Let's go. Fuck it up.
What went on in your head? Oh, Mr. Crowley, did you talk to the dead? Your lifestyle to me seems so tragic, with the thrill of it all. You fooled all the people with magic. Yeah, you waited on Satan's call, Mr. Charming. Did you think you were pure, Mr. Alarming? In nocturnal report, covering things that were sacred, manifest on this earth. Deep in the eye of a secret, scatter the afterbirth. Oh. Mr. Crowley, will you ride my white horse? Oh, Mr. Crowley, it's symbolic, of course. Holding a time that is classic, I hear that maiden's call. Approaching a time that is drastic, standing with your back to the wall. Was it polemically said? I wanna know what you meant. I wanna know what you meant. Yeah.
To think Ozzy is still alive.
He is. He just had an A&E specialist. So
They say drugs are bad, but maybe they're good.
all right, we got 2 more.
We have 2 more little ditties for you. One of them is sweet and soft, but sad.
One of them is terrible, and the other one is worse, right?
Rap, do we have Instagram, Facebook? Do we have a lyric?
We don't.
Got the medias? Are we recording a phone link? Oh, shit.
Yeah, maybe. Are we?
So,
Great question.
we exist on the interwebs in a few different ways. I hate social media, but it exists, doesn't it? You can find our asses on Instagram, YouTube. So we got a nice little music video. We got a couple more coming out.
We are.
What else we got? Facebook.
Tsunami.
This song is called Izanami. God bless you all. For the skylights, walking from her under the spell of longing. His sight was cast too soon. Now ashamed, she remembers the place. Now could even say their love. She would have always obeyed his lead. Now to double the pain, he pleads to leave her all alone again. Then show me. As no fear grips his stride, he follows on close behind. The terror of her message, distorted pride, calling to him who was once her love and keeper of her heart. These breaths of ragged thoughts, come back, my one. As he stumbles to the door, as the final seal of his betrayal, she locks her red with herself. Now a broken shadow, she vows to claim every soul until she finds her one. It's not enough, never enough. As the rage grips her mind, wandering through a hole in time, blackened memories of his face poured into her eyes, calling to him who was once her love and keeper of her heart. These breaths of ragged song, you beautiful people. We have one little ditty for you after that soft little ditty. This one's called Lucid, the last and final ditty.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Wait, actually, sorry. Yeah, we're good.
Caustic piles in my dreams, waking up to the same old song. My ears ringing till they're numb. Reminds me of the bell signaling the hours end. I hold on to memories when my eyelids would cover me from the silencing fear of what I've seen. Weakening the conscious light bleeds from my eyes. Laces can't find the side. No flesh and bone destroyed, and those of the mind they turn to memories. My eyelids would cover me from the truth, silencing the fear of what I've seen. The fear of what I've seen. Just because I was born into this. Just because I was born. Just because I was born into this. Just because I was born. Red light desperate search for the truth. I find myself dissolving the truth. Find myself eluding the truth. Just because I was born. Just because I was born. Rhode Island! Woo!
Thank you for having us, Parlour. You beautiful, beautiful Parlour. We are Caustic Echoes. Peace out.
Stay tuned for the interview. Oh, shit!
They're going to talk to us next. Stay tuned.
My name is Gary Janzinski from Motif Magazine here at the Parlour in Providence with Caustic Echoes. We're brought to you by R1 Karting from Lincoln and Trinity Brewhouse in Providence. So can you guys introduce yourselves?
Hello, my name is Raphael Fiore. I am the vocal regurgitator of this band. Who are you?
I am Matthew Freeman, guitar player. Caustic Echoes.
Frank Carolyn, guitar.
Sean Walter, drums.
Kalak Peterson, bass.
Nice. How long you guys been together as a group?
The five of us, really only a few months.
Mm-hmm.
I am the newest member, but I know Sean and Matt have been together for a decent amount of time before that.
I'll let Matt fill in most of the details, but we've known each other, the better part of 3 years? 17 Craigslist encounters later, and and here we are after all that. That's true love.
So the band, the oldest members are only 3 years together?
Yeah, I met this guy on the internet here, the Craigslist special.
Yeah, usually doesn't go well.
Well, you don't find drummers like him too often. Can play that kind of crazy stuff on his feet. So
you guys are pretty tight for 3 years, or even the. How long was the band as a whole?
So it started Sean and I, and then we just were struggling for the better part of 3 years to get something going. I had him in another band, and that band fell apart. So I brought him over. Right before the pandemic, we got him in. So then we had that long hiatus, and then we started picking up a little traction, and then we found Clark, and we've played 3 shows since, and we're doing our best to sound as good as we can.
How long have you had the name?
As long, I don't know, Sean, 3 years maybe, 2.5.
You got that early, you know?
Yeah.
So the name was first, and then the band followed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why Caustic Echoes? Just sounds cool.
Well, the 2 words together for me, it's like caustic implies some sort of like deterioration or rusting or something like that. Echoes are just things that are given out into the world, and then just a lot of what happens in the world is like that. Just a lot of stuff just sent out to the world that kind of isn't pure and great.
So no spiritual thing happening.
No, and it's also like a spacey sort of thing.
It does.
And I'm very much into space and astronomy, so kind of like that. So
I didn't know any of that.
well, you do now.
It's also just a cool name.
It is, the 2 together. So of the instruments you've played, music you've done, how far back does that go? Did you?
First band was in high school, so 2002.
And you've sung the whole time? You didn't
Always
play
been
an
a
instrument?
singer. I can't play anything. I'm unfortunately not talented with my hands as much as I am with my throats. But yeah, I took a 10-year break, just kind of gave up on music, and
Is this the only style of music you've played?
kind of, yeah. It's always been metal. It's always been heavier stuff.
Loud.
Not really what I listen to personally, which is interesting, but yeah, took a long break and then decided that my soul is broken without music, so
True.
Craigslist it was.
Who are you? Where'd you come from? I came from my mom, but what was the question?
How long instruments?
Oh.
Have you played anything else?
Yeah, I got a guitar when I was like a senior in high school. It just sat on the shelf until I was 1998. I started playing right when I got out of boot camp. I was in the Navy, so I had a bunch of free time on the ship. So I just started teaching myself with whatever was available on the internet at the time,
But
which
it
was
was always guitar.
always guitar. Yeah,
No
yeah.
trumpet when you were a kid?
I mean, no, none of that
flute,
counts. No, I was a terrible musician when
Well,
I
the
was
recorder,
young.
everybody had to do.
Yeah. I played trombone in 6th grade, and I was awful. I just watched everyone else's slide, tried to follow them. Had nothing.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I started playing. I started playing guitar pretty young, and I just always enjoyed it. It just moved me in a way, and I played in some bands, and I took a long break as well, and I was fortunate enough to find guys like this who share the same passion, and who are just like good enough in the metal genre to just get together, and it was great to get together and finally play. Without music, I don't know what I'd do. So great to be playing with these guys.
Yeah, always drums for me. Played in basically from elementary school when they gave you the little snare drum and they're like, hey, what do you want to play? And my brother, he had a snare drum. And he was never particularly good at it, but I remember he just one day gave me the sticks, and it was just, it was the only fun instrument, like you said, other than the recorder. And I played marching band, jazz band, and then, yeah, like everyone else.
Always drum, though.
Always drums, always drums. In college, and then a good amount of my early career took a hiatus. Then, you know, Craigslist really just brings people together. I put myself on a
Craigslist.
Craigslist.
The band to Craigslist.
Yeah, I know, right? We got to come up with some other acronym, but yeah.
Free ads on Craigslist.
I know, for sure. We should be getting paid for this.
They're all free on Craigslist.
Here you go, Paul.
For me, it was probably a little bit different. Wasn't always bass. I actually started off on on drums, and I played drums for probably like a year, and then I ended up picking up guitar for probably about another year before I ended up jamming on this guy. I was jamming with bass, and basically everyone in the band was like, "Dude, you're a sick bass player," and I've basically been playing bass ever since, and that was like 98, 97, something like that.
Did you feel it when you were?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, luckily for me, it all kind of came pretty easily. Like, I've always been around music. Like, my stepdad was a drummer in a band, so I was always watching him play. So I always kind of knew the inner workings of how it all worked. So like when I kind of went to pick it up myself, I had already kind of had a step in the bucket, so to speak. And yeah, it really just kind of came seamlessly for me. And luckily, I took a long break, like almost everybody here has. And I ended up finding these guys on Craigslist, which is really like finding a diamond in it.
True.
And you know what I mean? Because the quality of musicianship for these other four guys is really just incredible. So I'm super, super fortunate to be playing with them.
It's surprising, 3 months. So you guys, nobody bounces back and forth instrument-wise to kind of help the other thing. A lot of people tend to, dabble in this, dabble in that, but it kind of helps everything, together.
Yeah, but Matt's sort of like the sound engineer, sort of the brain, so I'm sure he can probably talk a lot about that kind of stuff too. So that's more of Matt's gig.
We didn't. Where are you guys from?
I'm North Shore, Revere, Massachusetts.
Really?
So North Shore of Massachusetts, and just where I currently reside.
I live in Milford. We also practice there, and grew up on the South Shore.
Beautiful studio, by the way. A beautiful, beautiful Milford studio. His basement. I'm from Lawrence, Massachusetts. Long drive. But yeah, I'm happy there.
I'm from Northborough, Massachusetts, which is, central Mass. All four people in the world who know where that is.
I currently live in Holbrook, Mass. I'm from Weymouth. As you can tell, we're all really kind of from everywhere, So we basically all
You
travel.
got the most Boston accent.
Yeah, for sure. Well, where I live, it's the South Shore, so it's very, very strong where I live. So generally when I leave there and people ask me what my name is, I'm kind of like, can I just write it out for you?
And this is all your first time playing in Providence, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You've been to Providence, but you've never played here.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen actually my first show ever. I saw Slayer, Machine Head, and Biohazard here years ago. That was my first show.
Where?
It was in, I think, the Strand.
Yep.
And Lupo's, that was in Rhode Island, right? I think.
Well, now they're the same thing.
Yeah, right. Okay. See, I didn't know that. Yeah, because I've been out of the game for a while. But yeah, so I used to come to Rhode Island to see a lot of shows.
Yep.
It was actually one of my favorite places to
Well,
go.
hopefully we'll see you here again.
Yeah, we would
Maybe
love to play here again.
but,
Yeah.
Somewhere in Providence. The creative process, how's that go when you're writing a song?
Right now it's you, bud.
I mean, I'm like obsessed with music. And
Writing.
I just in general, it's kind of a disease for me. I can't just write guitar. It's hard for me to just write some things and be like, hey guys, let's.
Do you write all the instruments?
I don't want to say that I do that. I write demos that I give everybody,
Give
and then
strong
we all put our spin on it. Like one of the songs we played tonight, Ambivalent. I really liked the way it was before we recorded it, but then when everyone put their spin and idea to it, it just took on a whole new life.
Lyrics
and
too?
I love it. No, I don't prefer to write any lyrics. No, I try to stay out of that completely.
Why?
I have too much to do. Like I do the sound engineering for the band when we have practice. I'm like running all the sound.
No input in the lyrics at all?
I mean, I help him sometimes with melodies, but he's fucking awesome. So I don't really have to say anything to Raph most of the time.
So how's it go? So you're by yourself and you get an idea and
Me?
Yes.
Well, I usually sit down with the intention to write a song, and I just kind of, with the advent of, computers, it makes it a lot easier to pick up and where you left off and then just jump back into it. And sometimes a certain song like, what was that song? First song we did tonight, Among the Sheep. It was a a song that I had started writing, and then I just got lost and stuck, and then I revisited it like 6 months later, and I just gave it a different ending. Than I couldn't come up with it.
Is there a routine when you're doing it? You need to have something to eat, something to drink, something,
no, I
certain
just
chair, nothing.
No, I mean I just lock myself in my basement all day. Honestly, I neglect my wife probably too much, and I I'm a slave to music. I'm just gonna put that out there. So. I'm like a stickler for detail and sound. I can almost drive people insane with it. But I think
have anybody else written music in another band or at another time?
I'll just add one other thing. I was in another band that I'm putting out an album November 5th. It's Scarlet Rain. It's female music, female vocals, and it's.
So you're in that band as well.
It's an online thing I did over the pandemic. It's so that'll be coming out soon. It's much different than this, but that's all I'm gonna say. So
well, it helps, I'm sure, the process.
Yeah.
Do you ever get writer's block? Can't think what to write? Lyrics, music, whatever?
Lyrics are really fun for me. So basically, I've been going off of his kind of orchestrated stuff. He sends me completed, or more or less completed tracks. And my process is literally just listening to it over and over and over and try to get some kind of, just try to tell a story in some way, and I really enjoy writing just lyrics for it. It just takes me a long ass time, and it's fun, and it really kind of solidifies me in the band. It makes me feel like I'm actually contributing myself to it because it's my little stories. Yeah, but I don't think I've written anything. Yeah, all the bands I've been in, I've been a vocalist, and I've always written the lyrics, except for the previous one I was in with him. I was singing somebody else's lyrics, and that is not the same at all. And I would not recommend doing that.
You played one cover tonight. How was that as a writer of lyrics?
It was fun. I don't know. I'm not a big Aussie guy. I don't. It's just. It was good to just experiment.
What percentage of music is covers that you guys play?
We have. I mean, we've practiced quite a few, but we only played maybe 2 or 3 live. They're just there to kind of fill and show people something special.
How's it feel?
It's fun.
Original or cover? What's the vibe?
Originals are so much better. Yeah, I love our stuff.
Is it like more pressure trying to copy something when you're playing a cover, or writing your own? You can just.
I don't think so. I feel like everybody enjoys the tracks we pick, and then they're fun to play. It's just fun. Yeah. I don't know.
And when you first 5 got together, what was the first song you learned as a group? Original or a cover?
Give it a Clark.
I remember because obviously it was my audition. It wasn't that long ago.
Wasn't long ago.
No, it was actually the first song that we played tonight. So the first and last song that we played tonight were the 2 originals that we did the first time that I had auditioned for them. But we also played Spiders and Toxicity, I believe. We do a few covers. We obviously we want to be an all original band, but we do the covers kind of fill in and to have fun. So we kind of like they throw a few at me.
Yeah, even big bands do it.
Yeah, because it's just a good time, and it's like I remember Matt saying to me, it's kind of good just to kind of let your hair down and just kind of have fun, relax a little bit. There's not a lot of pressure to like write, you know what I mean? So you're basically just playing someone else's parts anyways. So it's like just have fun, you know what I mean, and just kind of see what we're all into, kind of see how it sounds, and we kind of go from there.
So what are you looking for from the audience? What are you trying to do something to them, get them to contribute? Trying to get them to feel a certain way?
Yeah, definitely. I think, the music is definitely on the heavier side. I think the majority of people will be like, crap, what is this? But I think, the melodies and the leads and all that kind of give it this softer and accessible edge, which I think, some metal bands don't have. So I think that gives us a little broader appeal. And, there's lots of people I think who don't like metal that like our stuff because there's like really, to Matt's credit, really good songwriting, tight musicianship, and it seems like there's a killer vocals.
It does have a flow to it, even though it's hard, it still flows.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like we would always, I think, it's easy to just go really heavy all the time, really fast all the time. I love it when we do that, but I think, kind of what makes this band different is we know when to kind of, slow it down in favor of, a better song rather than just going balls to the wall all the time. But that's fun, too.
Even though each of you is kind of, but it, it blends and becomes a flow, which I...
Yeah, and like just to add,
even
too...
Even sitting here, I'm kind of...
And just to add, like, if, for me, music that evokes emotion, that's really what it comes down to. And I think in this,
that's what it's
like this, with this music, it's touching all the bases. So I mean, it's really like for me, like just evoking emotion, and if I feel the music, like you know, that's number one, and hopefully other people can feel it and enjoy it too, you know. And I've gotten that, you know, playing with this band. So
Do you play anything like a ballad? Do you play soft stuff? Because you said a couple times the next one's gonna be softer, and it really wasn't.
Well,
much
we
softer.
played we played a ballad tonight actually. And
It's all relative.
Yeah, true.
Two soft verses.
I think it's
So like, in your 4 tonight, there was the soft one in there.
yeah, we have another one like that too. It's acoustic driven, but I think like it's good to have that balance where you're doing like I think you can appeal to a lot of people while serving yourself at the same time. I like to come up with stuff that's palatable for people that might not necessarily want to listen to a band like us, and but at the same time we'll play a song like Ambivalent, which will just rip your face off. So.
So you're 3 months in the band. The last bassist, was it the band much different?
So we've never had a bassist. We've always had like people and like weirdos, and like no one is. It took us a long time to put this thing together. Like Sean and I went through.
That must have changed the band.
I mean, we could do a whole nother interview with just the weirdos that we've met, but I'm not going to get into that. But yeah.
Didgeridoos and all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, we had like another guitar player, but Frank is our most stable guy, and then Raph is our first real vocalist.
So you've evolved just by adding a bassist. Is there a next level
it makes
of
such
evolution?
it makes such a difference, like in the low end, and so a bass player that understands like the dynamic between the drums and the kick drum and knows what to play, and I think that also separates you from other bands, and that's something I was looking for. So you want to speak to that, Clark?
Well, to answer the question about the evolution, I would say there's absolutely an evolution. I mean, where we are right now is certainly not where I think any of us see ourselves in 6 months, with consistent rehearsal,
life of the
whatever.
band.
Well, of course. And the songs that we have now, as great as they are, we obviously feel like there's more to come. You know what I mean? The longer that I'm in the band, the better I get to know these guys, the better our personal relationships are, the better our musical relationships become. So, that's kind of where we're going. But even before that, about the goal, our number one goal is to get people to come to shows. That's it right now. We need people to show up, right? And go to Caustic Echoes on YouTube, because we have a lyric video on there and 2 other tracks, so they should check that out.
Yes. So what are your places that people can follow you? Instagram, Facebook, all that?
So I'll just add real quick. So yeah, we got a Bandcamp page coming. We got a Bandcamp page. Just gotta search for our band name, Caustic Echoes. You'll find it. It's in the URL too. So we have some release tracks on there, and then also we did something. We released the tracks again without vocals, just have instrumental versions. Thought that'd be kind of cool. And we're releasing as we go. And within a few days, we should have all the same songs. Should be on Pandora, Spotify, all those major platforms will be on there soon.
Is there a CD, record, album?
We're working on it. It's in the works.
You got enough stuff. You just gotta.
It just takes a
tweak
long
it and
time
get it on
to
one
mix
thing.
it down. Yeah.
He is the sound guy, engineer. So all of the songs recorded are hours and hours of this guy's time. So it's really on whether or not you're gonna do some work or you're gonna slack. I was like, I'm just kidding.
Is that in your world or the new world or whatever? Just like making a CD album is just not as big a deal. With the Spotify's and all that, you don't really need an album.
I think the goal is to definitely have an album, our first album. I don't know, at least, I don't know how many tracks. We have 8 songs now.
We'll have 10 or
Maybe 10 to 12,
I'm old school, so CDs, awesome. Artwork, a cover, all that stuff. It's cool to release some tracks because I guess that's what everyone else is doing. But
Yeah.
Ultimately, we'll try to like keep some tracks to ourselves, and they'll be on the record. So
Cool. Any time frame? No. For that album, CD.
by the 6 months.
We're gonna need something to sell at these shows. You gotta make
Right,
some
yeah.
T-shirts
We're gonna make some
and
shirts.
CDs,
We got some
whatever.
stickies coming.
Stickers, yeah. Stickers.
Condoms. We need some condoms. Yeah.
Yeah.
some caustic condoms.
Caustic condoms. Caustic condoms.
And you do have a show coming up. I heard.
Yes. Guys, remind me. The show is October 26th on a Tuesday at the Midway Cafe in Jamaica Plain. It's gonna be our second time playing there. It's actually a cool little spot. I think it's been around for a long ass time. Yeah. October 26th, Midway Cafe.
Nice. This is it, you think, band members, or you were just talking about the evolution of everything? But
Trumpet player?
yeah, horn section.
The didgeridoo idea is pretty cool. That would be.
That would be an intro for a song. Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, the Parlor. Thank you, R1 Karting, Trinity Brew House, Motif Magazine.
Thank you, Gary.
And, one more time, all your names.
Raphael.
Matt.
Frank.
Sean.
Clock.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.